Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm wearing my glasses today because I have a headache. Welcome back to my listening to albums for the first time series. I can't believe this is the 6th one I've done of these. I'm enjoying it so much, so I hope you guys are too. And as you can tell from the title, we're going back to King Gizzard today. Now, I know I recently did a King Gizzard reaction. So about 3 videos ago, I reacted to Nonagon Infinity, but I have not stopped listening to Nonagon Infinity ever since that video, and I'm just literally obsessed with them. Like, I'm living, breathing, eating, dreaming King Gizzard at the moment. So I thought I'm going to continue with listening to them because I want to hear a lot of these albums, but I also want to film them for this channel. So obviously I can't listen to them until I film for this channel, otherwise it wouldn't be a first time reaction. And honestly, you can expect more of these because I'm trying to get through all of King Gizzard's albums before I see them live for the first time in May. I definitely think it can be done. I'm literally non-stop listening to them, guys. I'm deep in the trenches of King Gizzard right now. So in my other video, I reacted to Nonagon Infinity, which I absolutely loved. It was a perfect album, if you ask me. And a lot of you guys commented on that video to say that I should listen to Polygondwanaland. I find those two albums are often grouped together in people's like top 2 albums by King Giz lists. It kind of feels like if you like one, you're gonna like the other. So I thought today is the day that I would give it a go. So this was their 12th studio album, and it was the 4th of 5 albums to be released by the band in 2017. So the genres listed on Wikipedia for this one are progressive rock and psychedelic rock, literally my 2 favourite genres, and in my opinion, what this band do best. So let's not waste any more time. We've got 10 tracks to get through. I'm going to pop my earphones in and we can get started. If you haven't seen one of these videos before, I'm literally just going to be listening to the songs, pausing it when I've got something to say. And I know it's frustrating to have it paused all the time, but otherwise I couldn't upload this video because of copyright. So just know that after I finish filming, I'll be listening from start to finish with no interruptions. Can I just say also that I absolutely adore the album cover for this album. I love this style of album covers that they do. But anyway, the first song is almost 11 minutes long and it is called Crumbling Castle. I love it already. I'm sorry to be so dramatic, but that bass line, stunning. Already there's so much going on, and I really love that because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Robot Stop from Nonagon Infinity, just the way that it's like it wastes no time. Loved that little drum fill there. I'm pretty sure this album has 2 drummers, correct me if I'm wrong, but that drum fill was so satisfying. The drums are so good in this, and it's not that I'm shocked, but it's just I usually am more focused on guitar when I'm listening to Giz. Already I can hear so many like Pink Floyd inspired influences, and this probably won't come as a surprise to anyone, but Pink Floyd are one of my all-time favourite bands. That guitar tone is actually stunning. It genuinely does kind of remind me of something by Yes, probably something from the album Fragile by Yes. That was actually kind of eerie and a little bit creepy. Again, this is like keeping me on my toes so much. I can't believe we're almost 6 minutes through the song. This is going so quick. I really don't want this one to end. As predicted, it's just hooked me straight away. I don't think this band can make a bad album. I don't know what's going on with the vocals here, but these really deep vocals with some kind of weird echoey effect on them. It's usually just not something I would like, but I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so definitely something is going to switch up here. This is reminding me of Pink Floyd so much. So ridiculously proggy, but I feel like with Giz, they really know when it's right to strip it back, and they really let things have their moment. Like the guitar was just the star of the show then, and then the bass is the star of the show. But it just makes for a really satisfying listen. Like I really feel like they're thinking about the listener and the listening experience. What is going on here? There's literally too much going on for me to even speak about, but the band is so tight. Like, it's crazy how good they are at like working together and meshing the sounds together. Okay, I can't handle all of this. That way that those instruments just came in then, and the speed just increased so much. I'm so hyped, but there's literally like only 2 minutes of the song left. I think switching up again now because I want more of that speed. As quick as it started, it was taken away, and now I have no idea what's going on. What is going on? This sounds like some weird throat singing. Is that Stu? Someone please let me know if that's Stu singing there. Okay, I literally have no idea what just happened. I'm gonna need some time to process that one. I'm just gonna move straight on. Next up is the title track, Polygondwanaland. Polygondwanaland. Am I saying that right? I am just an absolute sucker for a song that starts off with bass. I absolutely love rhythm sections. I just feel like it sets up the song really, really nicely. Really strange time signatures. This is kind of all over the place, but they just make it work. We're gonna get there. We don't know whereabouts. We're gonna get there. This is actually very soothing in a weird way, and I do tend to love the kind of more mellow, soothing King Gizzard songs, like the songs on Quarters. Honestly, this is reminding me a little bit of The River. Really beautiful so far. Again, they've got like the super catchy chorus that we're gonna get there. Literally, how do they do it? Okay, so that acoustic guitar and that flute there has just kind of completely changed the vibe of the song, but it's really beautiful. I really love the kind of ebbs and flows and the journey that this band takes you on. Loving again all of the kind of layered vocals, especially when you've got earphones in, like it just sounds gorgeous. Okay, so that was Polygondwanaland. I can see that it's kind of transitioning into the next song now, but that song is finished, and the end really reminded me of something from Nursery Crime by Genesis, which is one of, if not the best prog album of all time in my opinion. So I just love that I can pick out these little influences as someone who is a massive progressive rock fan. I really, really enjoyed that one. Next up we have The Castle in the Air.
The river opened her mouth.
Okay, definitely. That's really took me by surprise. I really was not expecting that, but let's keep going. Okay, this one's kind of a sensory overload. This is quite overwhelming. The weird time signatures, all the different things that are going on, the woman's voice. Why is this like a medieval jig? This is like what they dance to on the lower floors of the Titanic. And then just as quick as it started, it's gone again. The switch ups in this album are insane. It kind of feels like one long song so far. Okay, I really loved how that song ended on the kind of cymbals, and I don't know why, but that lyric that hit me like salty water, I really love that as well. That song went way too fast, to be honest. I definitely enjoyed it, but I think my favourite is still the title track. Next up is the fourth track. It's called Deserted Dunes, Welcome Weary Feet. This is just so strange. That opening like 30 seconds was so weird. It's so weird, but it sounds so good. So far it feels like a little bit of a continuation of The Castle in the Air, but it's just moving into more electronic kind of vibe. Loved the way he just sang Dinosaurs. That is so 70s. This is definitely one of their more unique sounding songs. This one doesn't sound like any of their others. I can feel that we have an instrumental section coming and I'm just a sucker. Okay, really interesting switch up there with those kind of synths building, and it's kind of like that space rock On the Run by Pink Floyd vibe. The bass never ever ever fails to blow me away. There's another Australian band called Mild Life who I always talk about on this channel and have done for years because I'm obsessed with them, and this is kind of a little bit of their vibe. My biggest dream in life is for Mild Life and King Gizzard to do a collaboration. It's just so funky and that bass is really driving the song forward. Great fade out ending, and now we are going into the song that is called Inner Cell. Okay, stick with me, but the first thing I thought when I listened to the first 10 seconds of that is the song Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers. It just really reminded me of it.
Off the street, there was that believing secretly.
It's hard to even like bob your head to this song because of the weird time signatures, but I'm loving the vocals so far. I'm not really sure if that was the chorus, but it had like a different vibe to these verses.
To a place, clandestine, free.
And I have to say that the chord progression is absolutely stunning. This one has a really eerie feel to it, like it feels very much like something is building. It has a real like sense of unease and a strange atmosphere, and I think that kind of correlates with the lyrics because I'm just having a look at them now. The lyrics like, from under the skin the flesh is rotten, poison is spread through words unsaid. Like it's just got this kind of creepy like horror vibe. That was so satisfying again. I just love the way everything came crashing in, like this like massive big epic wall of sound just came crashing in there. The vocal style and vocal delivery is really interesting in this one because it sounds like it's almost off key. I don't know if it's like meant to make you feel a little bit uneasy. Okay, first of all, I absolutely love the way that song just transitioned into the next one, which is called Loyalty. It's definitely very creepy. It's kind of reminding me of the Stranger Things theme tune. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And next up is the song Loyalty. That was an amazing intro. Again, it was that kind of space rock, like alien-like sound, a real switch up in rhythm, and really like foreboding bass, just creating so much suspense. I feel like the album has shifted a little bit in like tone here. Love the little bass riffs in the background. Again, like the rhythm section of this band has got to be one of my favorites ever. This is like really cinematic in a weird way. The polyrhythmic grooves and those like weird sounding synth. Guys, the bass is literally, I just love it. Okay, I know I keep like referencing different influences, but it's just because I'm such a big prog fan, and this little bit here is reminding me of a song by Van der Graaf Generator. It's called All That Before. I can't remember what album it's from, but if you haven't heard that song, go and listen to it and tell me that this doesn't remind you of it. Okay, I think the flute is back and I love this song. That flute is so dreamy and it gives it this real like medieval feel to it, which I'm a massive fan of because I love the song Magenta Mountain, which kind of reminds me a little bit of this. Again, I love the way that ended. That was so like epic. epic. And now it's gone straight into a song called Horology. This album is an absolute ride, and I just can't wait to listen to it again and again and again and start noticing all the different things, and it can all start coming together for me. But anyway, next up is Horology.
There was a great hermit in me, and there you're from inside and out.
I have to say, I'm having a little bit of trouble again with the lyrics. I think I'm focusing so much on the music that I'm not really talking about the lyrics. I'm not sure if there is like a theme to this album lyrically, but it feels a little bit like Tetrachromacy Apocalypse, just in terms of like some of the random lyrical themes that are coming up. Okay, what? That was crazy how that switch up just happened, and I think the flute came in again. It literally went from so creepy to like all of a sudden really soothing in the matter of like 5 seconds. This one's very groovy, probably one of the more kind of danceable songs on the album. Okay, I feel like I didn't say enough about that one because it just kind of went by in a flash. I loved how like complex and layered that song was. I think Giz are amazing at making like very weird concepts really digestible and quite accessible, and that song was kind of like that because the lyrics were weird as hell. But next up, we're going into a song, Tetrachromacy. Okay, it's quite stripped back to start, but I feel like all of them have started like quite simplistic and then gone into some crazy shit. Okay, what is happening with the drums there? I can't even make sense of the drums on this album. Usually drums are like a highlight for me and I've got lots to say about them, but these are just really like blowing me away. This one isn't gripping me as much as the others. I feel like the album has kind of slowed down a little bit here. Okay, this feels like a kind of motif. They keep having the callback to this like medieval sound. The way they like flow and move into different sections of different songs, it's just beautiful. And is that every song that they've sang Polygondwanaland at least once now, I think? I can definitely see why this is a lot of people's favourite albums. For me, I'm definitely preferring Nonagon Infinity, but that is just because this is the first time I'm hearing this, so I don't want to make any like sharp judgments. I can definitely see why people really like this one. It's very ambitious, it's very technical, it's super unique, but it's also really fun and very digestible. Anyway, we're almost at the end now, and the next song is called Searching. This one sounds super like experimental. It's kind of giving like African tribe.
It won't change anything.
I really like how the production is kind of like raw and gritty, and it really comes through like the intricacies of these vocals. Momentum has been lost for me. I feel like I'm struggling a little bit with this one and the last one to get into it as much. Yeah, I didn't love that one as much. I think it was a little bit samey, maybe. But anyway, it's time for the last song, which is called The Fourth Colour. This is already different. I think I'm a bit of a sucker for the fast-paced Giz songs. I like all their music, but my favourite thing about them is their rhythm section, as I've mentioned, and those really kind of like powerful songs. This is so proggy and I love this one so far. The vocals are like all over the place here, but it's just so good. This is already just great vibes. That riff is so infectious. They are just so ridiculously consistent. Like, even though I wasn't too keen on the last song, Search It, like they managed to just win me back straight away. I have to say, like, the pacing is pretty great on this album. Like, the energy just seems to come in waves. Obsessed. Love. Oh my goodness. This is incredible. Okay, this is very ominous synth sound, very cinematic again, and it's making me wonder if anything else is going to happen before the end of the song or if it's just going to carry on like this. I wouldn't be surprised at either, to be honest. There's no way they're going to finish this album on a drum solo. Surely not. Oh, that was too satisfying, honestly. Well, that is it then. What a way to finish the album. That has just thrown me for a loop, and that was definitely a journey. Overall, it was, I'm gonna take my glasses off now. Overall, that was an incredible album. It's definitely not my favorite I've ever heard from them, but as I said, it probably will take a few more listens to properly sink in and grow on me. Overall, this album just shows the absolute ridiculous amount of talent that this band have. Like, I could only wish for even a fraction of. It had thrashy guitar riffs, it had epic theatrics, it had amazing transitions between each song. I love the repeating motifs, I love the catchiness and the grooviness and the bass always driving those songs forward. I love the weird, trippy, psychedelic lyrics. I loved all the influences from some of my favourite 70s prog rock bands, and I really just enjoyed the album. As for my favourite songs, I think the title track was one of my favourites. Obviously, the fourth colour was incredible. I really liked the song Loyalty. Crumbling Castle, probably the best on the album, I think. The ones that I liked a little bit less were Tetrachromacy, Searching, The Castle in the Air. But it was just like a really ethereal, psychedelic, progressive rock album. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know what you thought of the video in the comments, and if you like this album, and if you think there's anything I should know about it. I really appreciate all the love that I've had on my recent videos, so if you have been watching them, thank you so much. If there's anything else you want me to react to, please leave it in the comments below, and I will see you guys very soon for another video.